All right, everybody, welcome back to the 2022 PSR Marathon. My name is Iron. I'll be hosting this sort of block section of the marathon today. We've got a really great task coming up for you guys right now for Pokemon Yellow, featuring a very special alt main. Some of you may know what it is already. So I'd just like to introduce two very special guests here. We have the creator of the task, Ranger Squid.
Hello.
Say hello, Ranger. And we also have TyKevin83.
Hello, that's me.
All right, you guys can take it away, and looking forward to seeing this great task.
All right. Hi, everyone. So, welcome to the Pokemon Yellow alt main glitchless % TAS. I have been working on this for way too long, and this is the most recent version of it. So, honestly, I'm just going to get started on playing it because we have plenty of time to talk in general. And just so you know, this is not the normal world record TAS. This is a little bit different. All right, so Iron or Jordan, whoever is doing the timer, in 3, 2, 1, go ahead. No, there we go. All right, so this has been a really, really interesting ride for this task to be finished, and we have a lot of really, really fun and exciting stuff that normally doesn't happen in a task that often and had to be really investigated in order to find the most optimal path for this. So, also we are going to be generally underestimate. I won't spoil anything because no one else other than Kevin and myself have seen this. So, Kevin, if you wouldn't mind explaining to the community what in the world a TAS is, because you're better at this than I am.
And I'm going to actually start, before we get into the whole what a TAS is, you just saw us add a bunch of characters and delete. What that's going to do here is it's going to set up memory such that when we go into the battle Pikachu and Oak catches the wild Pikachu, we get this extra big double wipe. Usually in that battle there's a single wipe all the way around in a circle, but it's going to be 2 half wipes. You'll see right here. Yeah. So that is because of our adding and deleting characters from the rival main. And that was discovered by me as part of the no save corruption tassing. But for the larger point of what a TAS is, what we're doing is we are stepping through in an emulator frame by frame for approximately 360-odd thousand frames. Probably closer to 400,000 for Ranger Squid's alt main stat. But I don't know the exact number, like I said, so we'll find out the exact length of that. Anyway, point is, you have to step through every single frame to figure out the optimal frame to play every one of your inputs. It's not like a live run where you just hope that your inputs are at the right time. You know every single frame that your inputs are going to do what you want them to do. So you can be very precise, and because of the level of precision, you can actually control the RNG. So we're going to do all sorts of crazy strategies in this run because of our ability to control the RNG perfectly and know what's going to happen in advance.
And coming up here, we have our first rival fight, so hopefully it goes really well. Maybe we get some early XP, we get through with Pikachu, and maybe we get something that can actually handle Brock, because right now, if I remember correct... Oh,
Well, a Gen 1 miss? That doesn't seem good. 2 Gen 1 misses? Why are we using Growl? Ranger, what's with this task? Why are you using Growl?
No.
So Growl is actually faster than having Thundershock Gen 1 miss because Thundershock is longer than Growl in general. And for animations, Tackle is actually faster with animations on than animations off. And so dying to the rival in 2 turns as well is more effectively faster than killing the Eevee in, I believe, 3 turns, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
also
yeah.
the
So
level up at the end of the fight.
If you turned the animations off before the battle, you could kill Eevee in 3 turns, but that would still be slower than dying in 2 turns. So we take advantage of in an additional sense of being able to leave the animations on longer, and we hold the button through all the text printing to make it the fast text speed. But like Ranger said, because we Gen 1 miss Growl and don't get an animation, then we also can have the tackle animation on, where the tackle animation is 5 frames faster with animations on than with animations off.
So, a question for you, Kevin, I guess.
Yeah.
Wouldn't a Mankey just be perfectly good for this task? Like, instead of Nidoran or anything else?
Mankey really has a lot of disadvantages after Brock because it levels really slowly. It actually, like, there's a big problem with the experience curve in a lot of Pokemon. So you want a Pokemon that has the medium slow experience curve, because that word slow really describes how they end up leveling at the end of their experience curve. At the beginning of their experience curve, medium slow is the fastest experience curve. So up through level 50, it's faster to have that medium slow experience curve, and that heavily dictates which Pokemon we get, and also the moveset of Mankey is just garbage compared to like a Nidoran. Sadly to say, Low Kick and Karate Chop are pretty useful in arch setting, but not quite as useful in a TAS setting where you can always crit anyway.
So I think we should stop talking about Mankey because Jerry is very upset about talking about Mankey.
Yes, that's my dog Jerry, everyone.
Well then...
Yeah, he very much enjoys when people come to the door, so...
What about medium-fast experience curve in general?
The medium-fast experience curve, I think, is the one that Butterfree uses, and it's actually slower than the medium-slow experience curve through level 50, like I was saying.
Oh, Iron, I'm sorry. Were you saying something?
Oh, I was saying, sorry, who?
My dog's name is Jerry.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something else about the medium-fast experience curve.
Oh.
Also here, if I remember correctly hearing this right, the old man actually glitches and fails to catch the Rattata, which in theory it should have only shaken once. The
number of shakes is not the correct number for like what would be guaranteed to happen if it fails.
Yeah.
Whenever you or the easiest way to explain is that the number of shakes roughly corresponds to your chance to catch a Pokemon, and so if it shakes like multiple times, you had a pretty good chance of catching it, and if it shakes once, then you get a really low chance, and then like if it like misses completely, then that's like it's a really low chance. So. It's not random how many shakes you get.
Oh, now we're in Viridian Forest. Oh, we found a Caterpie. Okay, sure.
That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah, I mean...
Level 6 Caterpie is a pretty decent main, right?
Yeah, I guess so. We could try it out. I don't know how good it is. I think Metapod is okay enough to get to level 10 with.
Also, we need know the move Tackle because we caught it as a Caterpie originally.
That is true. Well, how are we gonna get to level 10 though? Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh no. I'm scared. Okay. Pikachu, kill it. Pikachu, please kill it. Pikachu? Pikachu?
Well, that's a pretty good job from Pikachu. It's almost killed a Pidgeotto. It's pretty rare, Ranger. That's like a 1 in 100 chance to see a Pidgeotto in the forest.
Okay. Pidgeotto, you're supposed to actually die from... You're not supposed to kill Pikachu.
Oh no, Pidgeotto! It hit Gus! And it's a critical!
Okay. We lived low. Okay.
Wow.
Whew.
That was a close one, Ranger.
Yeah, it really was. Well, now we get Metapod. I guess that's worth it. But, we really gotta get some stupidly good luck. No encounters.
Do we potions? Like, this could be kind of risky if we don't have any potions, right?
I don't think we have potions. That's the issue.
It's a good thing we're a TAS and we can predict literally everything that's going to happen.
Yeah, also for context, Metapod has base 20 attack. Sorry, base 20 speed. Caterpie has base 35 speed. So it gets worse to find all these crits that you see on the screen. So anytime you see a crit, think, wow, this is just under a 5% chance of happening.
Yes,
of
crits are
finding it.
based on the base speed of a Pokemon. So because
Yep.
Metapod's base speed is so low, finding the max damage criticals here is a significant effort for me and Ranger.
Yeah. And now we're down to 1 HP. And yes, Metapod's eye is looking into your souls. Yes. I just noticed that for the first time.
Gif, we haven't investigated that actually. We should look at that.
Oh. Another way to improve this TAS, maybe. It's an idea.
There's some other like early things we're looking at too, Gif, but we had a lot of trouble finding a Caterpie that would also be at like early enough in the forest to then also hit a Pidgeotto encounter. So we've had some interesting DSUM manipulation we've needed to work on that I've had time for with getting married. No, here
Also,
luckily,
just so-
and we can get a red bar wild encounter catch in the forest.
Which is significantly faster than not having red bar there. And also, our Caterpie DVs are 15 attack, 15 defense, 14 attack, defense, speed, 14 speed, and 15 special, which results in 14 HP DVs. Or it's 15, 14. It's one of either 15, 14, 15, 15, or 15, 15, 14, 15. It's a really, really, really good Metapod / Caterpie. And if you notice the delay just now when the string shot failed, it's because that crit took forever to find. And it only does maybe, I believe, 3 or 4 damage at most. So most of these are continuously very tough to find in general.
Yeah, some of this could be improved through like more bot automation of finding the RNG.
Yes. But of course, this was about my 3rd time doing it, and I was really, really tired of seeing this forest. And so I said, I'm done. Because I had to redo that forest section 3 different times after we found this Caterpie. And then we get to Peter City. So, oh, okay, we're just gonna... Okay, we are just going straight to the gym.
Yeah, we don't need that mart, do we?
I guess not. And now we get to the insanity, as I call it. I'm gonna let this play. I'm not even gonna talk.
This, of course, being the light year guy fight because the trainer says that we're still a light years away from Brock.
I'll explain
Has
afterwards.
really low defense, and we still take probably 4 or 5 hits. This is a 4th or a 5th here. Oh wow, we did it in 4.
Yep. Sandshrew, on the other hand, I believe is a 6 or 7 shot.
And this whole time we're manipulating Gen 1 misses of Sandshrews Scratch.
Yeah. That's why I'm just letting it play out, because when I say that this is the hardest fight to make in this task,
The hardest fight
This is
or
the
the
way-
hardenest fight?
for
Got 'em.
context, that was 9 Gen 1 misses. Along with everything else in that fight, it's the odds are in the duodecillions, which is 39 zeros after the
Holy smokes.
39 zeros after the decimal point.
That
So-
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
a
that's
little
just-
bit low of odds.
It's just one fight is what's so amazing.
Yeah, the first time I had to do that fight, I genuinely rage quit 7 different times. Also, look how fast we do Brock. I believe it was about.
And that
20
move
seconds.
swap. That was a smart move swap.
Yep.
Now another thing, I think that Ranger isn't quite as well versed in this one, but there's some cool stuff you can do with when you choose to critical hit and not critical hit. So for instance, on that Geodude, we could have done Confusion and then critical Confusion on the second turn, and it would have never gone from green bar out of a green bar into the yellow or red bar, which saves some animation frames.
Yeah, I haven't redone this beginning part since I made the first inception of it back last year, October. So it's been quite a long time since then, and I just have refused to touch it until we finally get that new Caterpie.
Sure.
Was it? So the reason why we moved Confusion up to slot 1 is because we are quite literally going to spam it for all of Route 3 because it is that simple of a route. A lot of the Pokemon are really easy to beat now that we have a Butterfree with a special move.
Ranger, I just noticed you took 2 extra steps there.
Did I?
Yeah. Oh, that's a fun one. We can fix that.
Kevin, this is supposed to be a marathon run, not a, hey, here's how to improve your task for the next time. It's okay, though.
We gotta take notes as we watch it.
We honestly do at this point, because also there's going to be about 100 or 200 frame delay up in the upcoming rival fight that I blatantly missed in my rework of it back when I was earlier
Rerouting things.
Not so I did this version from Celadon onwards, but that was the 156, and in that I still missed the delay, and I'd note about it in the verification.
To be
on
fair,
TASVideos.
Juan, I worked on this with Ranger, so it's partially my fault for not double checking some of the work.
Yeah, he gave me the first 8 minutes, and after that, it's a absolute mess. Quite literally, he did up through the Viridian Forest, and once he did that, I did the all the Gen 1 misses for the Lightyear guy. Also, we get hit by the Rattata there because we need to stay at 1 HP all the way through Mount Moon, because if we didn't get hit there, we would lose Red Bar in either the Jesse and James fight or the Super Nerd, and we wouldn't have a reasonable way to get back Red Bar because everything there does too much damage. Because they have poison moves, which are super effective against Bug in this generation, which we'll talk about later on in this run. That's a very, very important fact to remember. So, Peepo G, write this down. Make sure you remember that poison is super effective against Bug. Can you beat Pokemon Class with just 1 Butterfree? Juanli, I'm going to be completely honest. I really do want to make a Mankey TAS for you. I think it would actually be really good.
Yeah, I think it's a great next frontier for alt main passing.
I think that and Rattata are also... Apologies there. I have to close my door more.
Rat has some really cool opportunities with the rat into rat transition, where you go you rush Banshin to get the 46 Raticate. So you could run Raticate up until and then getting a better Raticate.
Wait, that's actually an idea though.
That sounds really cool.
I think.
Well, that's allowed in an alt main. Is it allowed in alt main categories to switch into the same Pokemon?
I mean, I'm the first one to do it, so why is it yes?
It certainly is within the spirit of the idea, I think.
It's the theoretical rule is that you should, if you can't get it before Misty, you get it as soon as possible. But I think because you get the rat so early in Route 1 or whatever route you would get it on, I think it would be fine. Also,
it would certainly be an interesting playground idea for TASVideos. That's another thing I wanted to mention too while we're doing the Mount Moon no encounter manipulation is TASVideos has a section now called the Playground, where they're specifically promoting this sort of tassing of more obscure categories, which is going to be a really great. It's a really great thing, along with the TASVideos site redesign that I worked on last year. The TASVideos site is really blossoming with a lot of new participation from people like Ranger Squid. So I'm super excited to see how that moves forward.
Yeah, and also, if you genuinely want to learn how to TAS, there are plenty of guides out there on how to use the software. It's really, really user-friendly. It's not that bad. And if needed, myself or Kevin can easily teach you for an hour or whatever, and you'd probably really enjoy it. There are plenty of Pokemon you could do. You could do red, blue, or yellow. For Gen 2, I would advise going to Casual Pokeplayer on that one, although that's Casual Kappa player in general, though.
The king of using Kappa, yes.
Yes, exactly. Even in our group chat, he does not send anything but Kappas.
What's the status on like Gen 3 passing?
You can do lots of really good Gen 3 tassing. You cannot necessarily have them verified yet, but there's also some opportunities for that to improve soon, because there's a lot of new emulators for Gen 3 in the works. Mm-hmm. So I need to do some work on like the programming end to wire those up into BizHawk, or like I could work with Casual Pokeplayer on that. But yeah, there's a frontier where that will be possible. I've done some tests to make sure that like they do seem to be tassable in the sense, like, or verifiable in the sense that like if you play back a TAS, you will always get the same like trainer ID from boot up. But we just don't have it the emulator like mimicking that same trainer ID.
I do want to also note that when we picked up the fossil there, I really wanted to, but the dome fossil is a good couple hundred frames slower than the helix fossil, and thus the helix fossil was chosen because it is superior, and I'm not losing a couple hundred frames on just that, unfortunately.
Yeah, switch tassing is a thing. You can do switch tassing, and we did console verification by tapping onto the VSync line of an HDMI out. And we did a HDMI to VGA conversion to be able to tap the sync pin to see how many frames are being emitted from Switch. And then we were able to use that to do console verification.
And here we are exiting Mount Moon. We are finally about to enter Cerulean City. And we've got some interesting stuff coming up.
Yeah. Cool find that we might be able to use in some tasks. If you need to menu early on in Cerulean City, you can menu while you're stepping like across the route transition into the city, and you can skip things like using a Moonstones jingle or using a Rare Candies jingle, because the map transition sound change will override the Moonstone.
Also, Swag PC.
Swag PC!
And the longest cry ever, Pikachu dying and being deposited forever.
And then, of course, we get fast closing the PC as well, because we're TAS. Another thing you'll see different here from the main glitchless TAS is we are not running straight to fighting Misty, because we do that with Nidoking primarily because we need to get the Bubble Beam TM so that we can use the Shake animation instead of Foreign Attack Flash animation. We do not have the ability to do that with Butterfree, like using Bubble Beam, so we will get the experience out of the Nugget Bridge trainers and Bill and all that, Route 25, so that we can have that extra experience, so that when we need to fight Starmie with Psychic on Psychic types, it will be less difficult.
So, we just taught Bide, because we just restored to full HP, and immediately we're back down to 1 HP like nothing new, and we just kill off a Spearow like it's nothing, and we're back to Red Bar for, I believe, almost the entire Nugget Bridge in Route 25. I believe there's one other trainer that hits us. Otherwise, we stay at 1 HP this entire time. And yeah, it's Bide strats. Once I saw the move, I was like, this needs to happen, because in some upcoming fights, which there's a small spoiler here, in another version of this task that's being worked on, we use Bide in another fight after Celadon City, which normally is when we get rid of the move. I realized that it was going to be a lot faster to get through one of the fights. So how do you make everything miss? So status moves themselves have a innate 25% chance to miss from any AI. Doesn't matter who it is. If it's a regular move like Tackle, it's 95% accurate. And if it's any other move, we just use the accuracy of the move to make it miss.
Yes, and
so
then the reason that we're able to make everything miss is because everything is deterministic. Deterministic means everything is always going to happen exactly the same way if you use the same inputs. The task always uses the same inputs, and so it always gets the same outcomes. And we know this is true even on the original games on console, because we have the ability to output those inputs and verify their behavior on the Game Boy player using GBI. Yes, it's effectively like you had one giant frame-perfect minute for the entire game.
So yeah, a lot of fights coming up here. We have, I think, another 4 trainers on Nugget Bridge, and like 3 or 4 more other trainers on Route 25. And so another point of notice is that we did not pick up the rare candy in Cerulean City, and normally that's an RTA thing that gets picked up. And that's because in the original one, I did actually pick up this one and the Mount Moon one, but realized after that it was very slow to get both of those candies in exchange just for a few extra levels early on to make some ranges better. And so I decided to cut those out, as well as the upcoming Elixir Hiker, as is normally called, who blocks the Elixir on Route 25, because it was just a lot slower to do that fight. It was about 2,000 to 3,000 frames, or I don't remember the conversion, 2,000 to 3,000 frames worth of time slower than just not doing the fight and being more optimal with my PowerPoint management and everything. And to be honest, Lovesick, I would genuinely get a shiny Butterfree if this game had it. I would make a run with a shiny Butterfree.
Gen 2 shiny Butterfree TAS incoming.
It's not a bad idea.
Can the starters be shiny in Gen 2?
Yes. I believe that's how people saw preset for shinies.
I believe they can, yeah. I remember watching a very old YouTube video that Worcester did. He was doing runs, and he got one.
Yeah, it'd be pretty funny to do a shiny Cyndaquil TAS.
That I would love that. That's a People G write that down moment. Also, I don't think anyone can hear it, but currently my cat is scratching at my door, very upset that I locked her out of my room, because she's just yelling at me saying I'm not giving her enough attention.
I know that feeling.
So Paige, I actually have like 85-95% of a route, but when I revisited it, it just wasn't working well because I had too many high expectations for the game. And I will bring in the cat later on if she gets very annoying. I just texted my dad to bring her away. So I also did Butterfree alt main in both Sword and Shield, as well as trade alt main Butterfree. And to be honest, those were my most favorite routes other than this TAS, of course. This TAS was an extremely fun time. Also, something I completely forgot about almost when I was doing this was getting the Charmander here. Charmander allows us to have both Dig and Strength on the team instead of catching a Paris and Mount Moon. Stop with the cat and the cat does commentary. I mean, okay.
Yeah, meow.
Also, I wonder if anyone's wearing headphones right now because there's something going on if anyone's been listening to the stream. Kevin, can you just explain? Because you're so much better at explaining this.
Oh, yes. M-Addict, thank you for mentioning the amazing audio. So, I found this back in 2018, so I can't believe it's been 4.5 years now. This is the fast options glitch causing this. So, in the TAS, when we want to change our options, we can change all the options at the same time. By pressing the left button, at the same frame, we press the A button to enter the option setting. And what that basically does is it causes medium text speed to go to fast. It turns off animations, which we need to do those two things. But it has the side effect of changing the sound from mono to earphone 3. And that essentially takes a lot of the sound effect and puts them on one of the earphones, where it puts the music and other sounds on a different channel. And one of them might be in your right ear and one of them might be in your left ear. And if you haven't played the game like that, it's very jarring to hear them on different channels and not all on one mono channel.
Yeah, considering that I often have one ear off, and it's usually my right ear, that's where all the music is. So for me, very often I hear absolutely nothing except whatever video I am watching at the time while working on this, because all the music is in the right ear, and all I hear is maybe the bass of everything, and then occasional cries while I'm working on stuff. Also, we are finally through... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Iron.
Yeah, this trainer, you had her look at you, and you got the exclamation point. That's something we don't normally do in earlier gen.
Yep. It saves a step or two for the TAS, I believe.
So yeah, that's just mostly just influencing what's coming down the line, more than time save and beam.
We could relook at that one. It might be something that is wrong. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Also, swag PC for the teleporter.
Yes. Swag cell separator.
I will let you know that every single time that we can swag PC or anything, we do it. The only thing we didn't do was swag boulders, because swag boulder took way too long to try to figure out, and I gave up halfway through. So I just went with the normal route.
Swag is complicated.
Also,
it's hard to tell the correct frame to do the turn.
Yeah. Here we actually have to walk all the way back to Cerulean because
the walk of shame.
We cannot dig out whatsoever. We can't dig out of the bike. We can't dig out of any building. We can dig out of caves, but unfortunately, we have to walk back.
Yeah, this is a yellow versus red difference that we have to be walking here.
Yep.
Not a TAS difference necessarily.
Now here, we actually center again. This is for one reason you'll see coming up very shortly. And
it's for a reason.
For PowerPoint management is one of them. The second is a fun meme idea that we explored earlier, and we're going to do again. And, yeah. So this trainer was actually really annoying when I was working on this, because the Goldeen just kept not cooperating with me while working on this. And yes, Shiro, this is indeed the Butterfree, but it's better than the last one I did.
Alt main Butterfree tab.
Also, as you were saying, as I missed the saving a few frames on the Geodude back in Brock's gym, I saved frames on that trainer there. So.
Yes, that was a great example of doing the non-crit first, staying the HP in the green, and then when the crit happens, the HP bar never changes color, which each time the HP bar changes colors, you lose 5 frames in Gen 1. That is one of the interesting side effects of being in red bar that you have to work out the time value of.
Also, it is time for buy strats yet again.
Sorry, what was that, Iron?
Oh, you did the same thing on the Staryu as well.
Mm-hmm.
Staying in green.
Yep.
And we are back to 1 HP.
Ooh.
The VAP.
The energy. So we gained back all of our power points, and the only thing we used was about 4 confusions. So I think we're good for all of Rock Tunnel as well. I don't remember exactly what the...
Very nice.
Until like 2 or 3 years ago, I thought that PP stood for Pokemon Power. I did not know that it canonically was called Power Points.
I just hear
Also,
PP and I just start laughing. Because I'm
for anybody who doesn't know in chat, if you use cut on grass starting in Gen 1, it cuts literal like tall grass. So you can use like a ghetto repel by cutting the grass.
Yes, Matt, it does indeed stand for PowerPoints. I'm glad you have realized this now. Don't worry, everyone, we are giving Pokemon lessons via the marathon. That'll be our new thing. Also, if you've noticed, the Drowsy is not very nice. Like, at all.
Drowsy is a tank that's having to use either Confusion, which we need to manage our PP really closely on, or Tackle, which it is very tanky against, and Tackle has terrible power.
So, please just remember the foreshadowing of Drowsy is a very tanky Pokemon, and you'll be reminded of that a little bit later on. Yeah, I don't like Koga's gym. Koga's gym is not a very nice gym. Also, we pick up the full restore there without any sound because you pick it up really fast. And I believe that's all we pick up in this area. Also, we still don't have the bike, unfortunately, which would make this a lot faster. So we'll have to walk, I guess. Walking is good for our health anyway, though. Everyone should be walking right now. You'll allow copy passes in yellow TAS Marathon runs. I'll just do a new alt main every year. That'll just be my contribution to PSR every year. And Jordan and I completely agree. Exactly, bring quality. Just don't bring cheap quality.
I will continue to try to write the best tweets for copy pasta material.
And Matt, I completely agree. Also, just for context, I believe Butterfree has base 50 attack, if I'm not mistaken, or base 60. So, hence why Tackle is such a difficult move to use, because it does nothing to any psychic types, and the only other move that we have for that special is Confusion right now. And even later on, level 34, when we get Psybeam, it's not going to be doing much at all. I would like to request no mention of Hops type matchups because that still haunts me from Sword and Shield days. And please, I would rather see Cowabunga dude everywhere.
Cowabunga.
That's what people used to say hi in California, right? Cowabunga.
I don't know him on the other side of the US, so. Also, we're here, we have our rival fight, which this is the second to last easiest fight for these.
So this is a great example of a fight in the Nitto run where we're able to use Thrash for like way more Pokemon than usual because we can guarantee that Thrash crits the Sandshrew, but here we don't have Thrash, and so here we're just like confusioning everything.
Rest in peace, Sandshrew. No one likes you, and no one ever will. Thank you. Goodbye.
You cannot say attack us now where you are.
Yes, exactly. No sand attack, no Gen 1 misses to deal with in this fight. Thank God.
And it's amazing that we can even kill Eevee in 2 hits of confusion, because like, unlike everything else in the early game, it actually has a decent special.
Let me look at... Let me find it. Anyway, yeah, the I just really don't want to see Gen 1 misses anymore. I'm going to be honest. That's all I want to not see. Also, the confusion with a crit is guaranteed. Minus getting 227 hits, but regardless, it's very, very good odds.
Yeah, cool. They're just really hard to find with a slower Pokemon like Caterpie, Metapod, and Butterfree because of the way that in Gen 1, the chance of a critical hit is determined by the base speed of a Pokemon. So even if you're like heavily leveling a Pokemon, it's not going to get any better than like 5% on Metapod, and when usually in like the later gens it would always be 1 in 16. It's really bad. And then there's also the problem of the 1 in 39 rolls, and you often need to get a 1 in 39 roll for TASing to get that maximum amount of damage. So you like a lot of your early, like every single attack you're doing in the early game is essentially a 1 in 39 and a 1 in 20 at the same time. So it's approximately like 1 in 800 every single time we're using an attack. Until around like the Nugget Bridge point in the game. Or maybe like Route 3-ish.
So here we do a bunch of menuing. By the way, that's the pause that I talked about.
Yeah, there's a little extra pause there on Dave. Yeah, we could clean that up.
Yes, I know. Thank you, Kevin, for letting me know.
You also should probably learn Fast Poof. You know Fast Poof?
What?
Okay, so when it says like 1, 2, 3, and poof, when you're teaching a move, you gotta hold B during the word, or like during the little sound, and it makes.
You gotta tell me this stuff when I'm doing this stuff. Come on, like you never told me this. You never told me this.
It's a mainstay of the RTA run. Like it's not a TAS specific thing. It's.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So
today...
like, for all of you yellow runners out there, there's a thing called Fast Poof, and you should learn it.
Also,
hit me up in the DMs.
We used our full restore. We have Raichu fail growl. Fail again because I didn't learn how to manipulate bide turns properly. Mega Punch into Mega Punch down once again, this time to 2 HP, to a kill.
Yeah, so just for the sake of describing it, the number of turns that a bide or multi-turn move in general lasts, like Thrash, is set at the beginning when you use it. So if you wanted to manipulate a 3-turn bide versus a 4-turn bide, you would need to check that memory address for how many turns it's going to last when you use it at the beginning to see how
I'm going to need to find that for my Lewis script for that. I'll talk to you about that. Also here, if anyone wants to post the Rapidash copy pasta, I give you full permission. Since I know that someone has it. This whole section I hate doing every single time.
I wish that I could have been awake to be in the comments during my intro VOD. I pre-recorded the intro because it played for the whole marathon, PSR Marathon, because it played at 6:30 a.m. my time, and so I was not up to get to see the reactions.
I never. Also, we pick up the Squirtle here. Squirtle is faster than getting the Lapras later on in the Sylph company. So it learns the same moves as Strength and Surf, so we don't need to worry about what's it called? I'm trying to think of the words. I'm sorry.
Another cool thing you can do in TAS that's pretty hard to do is manipulate that girl to walk down, so that you can walk up without like having to like turn directly into the counter. You can just like hold A to buffer into the dude.
So normally this trainer, upcoming to last, is usually a run killer for Nidoking because you're low on HP and Stas moves are an absolute pain. And
not effective.
Last...
she is not affectionately known as the 4-turn Thrash Girl.
Oh, yeah, sorry. 4-turn Thrash Girl, yeah. But for Butterfree, because all of her Pokemon are poison types, it's just a free win. There's no going about it any other way. It's just free win, free win, free win, free win. And I laughed while doing this one because I thought to myself, how many yellow runs died to this horrible, horrible trainer? How many red and blue runs? And I just chuckled.
Is it actually super effective, or like with the grass typing combo, or is it just say the word super effective because it's the first of the typings?
Poison type.
Yeah,
I
just
so...
like grass type is normally effective against psychic. I'm like blanking. My brain is killing.
It's new. Yeah. Grass is neutral against psychic, both to and from, and poison is weak to psychic.
Gotcha. So
like neutral offensively.
Yeah. In Gen 1, there's a bunch of weird bugs where like something can be neutrally effective with all the math, but because it's dual type, it only uses the first of the two types to pull the like wording of whether it's super effective or not very effective. So you can have something that's like neutrally effective but actually says super effective, or vice versa.
Also, I heard my cat just meowing very loudly there to my mom, saying she was very upset that I'm doing this marathon event. But I will bring her in.
Takiro, if you want to TAS Ash percent, by all means, I can help set you up for it.
So, funny enough, in a group chat that we have for custom starters for Gen 2, one of the guys in there, good job, Mr. 2%, he was like, let's do a TAS of Ash percent. I'm like, no. Just no. Or I don't believe... Well... Actually, you know what, LSH? We should just release Butterfree right now. Mr. 2, please explain yourself. I don't remember exactly what you said. Also, yes, butter memes. Yeah, I feel like we should release Butterfree now. Because it's just not going to be good once we get to Celadon. It's just going to be like mediocre at best.
Oh, another bulky psychic type.
Oh, Ash percent minus the... Oh, yes, also Slowpokes are a nightmare. Foreshadowing, by the way.
I love watching the prequel trilogy, and anytime Anakin does something like dark side related, yelling foreshadowing. Or dark side.
You know what? You're right, Randall.
Not just rely on dumb luck. That's why we rely on smart luck.
I agree.
This would be a fun one to commentate blindfolded.
I mean, I could put on something. Do we have any votes for blindfolded TAS for the rest of the run?
That'd be a great like donation incentive for like a GDQ thing, like for the TAS. Do it blindfolded
TAS.
percent. It doesn't actually change anything, but the commentators have to wear blindfolds for an hour.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Pokemon Yellow Butterfree TAS. Hope you all enjoy. I don't know if we're lost or not, but I really hope we're okay. Seems like we're fine. Oh, we won a battle. Awesome. Well, hopefully we can get out of Rock Tunnel very soon. Also coming up here, we have the infamous hiker that quite a lot of people know about. And I stole this from Kevin's Yellow World Record TAS because it was a really cool idea. So the two Geodudes are actually really simple to take out, but the Graveler is not a full one-shot. And so there were two options with it. And Kevin cannot patronize me for this because I thought about it. It was either A, use Confusion and have it go down to Yellow Bar, which would waste a few frames, or B, use Tackle, get the not very effective text into a Gen 1 miss self-destruct. We went for the second option because it allows us to find the Gen 1 miss much quicker. So no, you cannot patronize me for that one. I actually had to think about that one.
Mm-hmm. You were talking about the Gen 1 miss, the self-destruct thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that strat. I actually I learned that from watching a TAS that had been created around 2006 on one of the Japanese releases of the game.
Oh.
Which that's another frontier for TASing would be to do TASes of the Japanese versions to get like the Japanese times.
Also, actually coming up, I just realized we're going to leave Rock Tunnel and we have access to a lot of different things because we have access to Celadon City. I wonder what we're going to get. So this pickup is completely useless, by the way. Ignore the fact that we get that max ether. It is only for inventory purposes at this point because I realized in my reroute of this that it was not worth getting. So ignore that. From when we enter Celadon onwards is a brand new TAS that no one but myself and maybe Kevin, if he got that far, has seen yet. So there's going to be a little bit of explanations. To give you some backstory, also Roar does absolutely nothing in Gen 1 for trainer battles. To give you some backgrounds, the original version of this TAS, the 1 hour, 56 minute, and 22 second version that's currently published, it gets us what's it called? In Celadon City, we go and get Hyper Beam from the Game Corner. And that takes about 9 minutes worth of time. Sorry, I lost it at the copy paste. Oh, that's great. So in the original, we do get Hyper Beam. I found out through a person who commented on my published version that he said Hyper Beam is pretty slow. You should try using something else rather than that. And I thought, all right, maybe I will in like 6 months or something. And he actually came back 2 months later with a sloppy version of this route, or well, a different version of the route, but an idea without Hyper Beam. And it was 5 minutes faster, sloppy version wise. And that just amazed me so much. And so I said, all right, fine, we'll work on this. And so I worked on the idea. It actually turned out really, really well. And this is the new version of it. Also, we pick up the fresh water here for the guards, which somehow they share one fresh water for all of the guards, even though the first guard sounds like he's chugging at least like 3/4 of the bottle. He's going to share it with 3 other guards. And also we pick up 27 X specials, 9 X speed.
I love the fast. It's so fun to watch.
Yeah, and
because
4x.
basically with those, it's able to just tap up repeatedly every other frame. And we'll see some cool fast scrolls too in the fly menu. Some double input scrolls.
Yep, the menus are going to be yeah, menus are going to be really, really fun. And also, if you all feel like enjoying it, I do indeed have a Capri Sun because I'm 5 years old while playing a Gen 1 Pokemon game.
I freaking love Capri Sun!
Capri Suns are the best.
Where are you at on Lunchables, Ranger Squid?
Just the pizza one, honestly.
Ranger,
I don't like the others.
You missed a step there. You can go in the bottom one, and it will take you up a step.
Okay, I know. Okay, we'll get to that later. I missed one step. It's okay. We can redo this 5,000 times. So here we get a long menu. Just enjoy it.
What's really cool though with those scrolls is you can press alternating left and right as you're going down, and it saves an additional frame compared to holding down as you normally would in the RTA runs. And it's called double inputting. It's a very fun little strat.
Mm-hmm. And Randall, that is exactly what Kevin was just patronizing me about. And Grogear, yes, the elevator is faster. Actually, no, I'm sorry. The bottom tile is slower because you need to go up from the old man. So, Kevin, you are incorrect. While you can save a tile, you still have to go up and left anyway.
We'll talk about it later. It's a yellow thing.
Okay. I did mess up a lot, Randall. Don't worry.
Oh, that makes way
Also,
more sense now, Gif. I didn't think of why that would be until now. But I did also I did find the faster biking to the fly house there. Ooh,
Also,
what's this? This is something you don't
deviation.
usually see.
Yeah, this is very much a deviation. So this lady talks about her dead Pokemon in Pokemon Tower, and she's like, here's a TM for you. I don't need it anymore because I'm depressed. And just gives you Swift. Which I don't know why you have Swift. But here we fly back to Lavender, and we do a bunch of stuff once we enter the tower.
The flying back is faster than getting on the bicycle? From the north
I believe
side?
so.
Cool.
Because there's so many steps in between. I haven't fully tested it, but also bunch of menus here. So we teach Psychic. Also, if anyone wants to have fun just like me, only put on your left ear. You hear one noise occasionally. It's really kind of funny to listen to. Also, we teach Takedown here as well. The only way to reasonably take out Psychic type Pokemon is with Takedown, and also Swift. Both are extremely useful and viable, and really valuable for this run itself. Unfortunately, we do unlearn Bide, which, goodbye meme move, you are wonderful in every way possible. So this fight is, when I didn't realize when I was making it that Fearow is a two-shot, and you have to actually have Mirror Move Gen 1 Miss, because the rival from this fight onwards has a thing called Good AI. Good AI means that whatever move is super effective against the opponent, or against you, it will always use that type of move. If it has two of those moves, it's going to be a coin flip between the moves. So if a Pokemon against a Nidoking had both Psychic and Psybeam, it would choose between those two moves, even if that move was Agility, such as the Pidgeot later on in the run.
Interesting, and it thinks that Mirror Move is super effective on you?
Because it's flying, and that's the only flying move that it has.
Ooh.
So you have to Mirror Move into Psychic, which you just used, and get a Gen 1 Miss with that, which I didn't realize when redoing this that I would need that. So that took a little bit longer to figure out and realize. I got very grumpy at that point. But again, foreshadowing that the rival has good AI. And many Pokemon have a lot of diversity of moves, even though it may not always seem like it. So here, it's a very, very simple area. They only have Ghastlies and Haunters, and you just use Psychic and Confusion, and it's really, really, really easy. The funny thing is that these Ghastlies are actually, if I remember correctly, 38 out of 39 ranges, something close to that. I can look it up quickly. Let's see. With Psychic, they are 36 out of 39 ranges, so a 93% chance to kill. It's the fact that I am using a Butterfree with a 90 base power move that's super effective, and it's still a range on a Ghastly. So yeah, here we have to be healed because the trainer facing the stairs over there is actually slower than if we didn't just take the heal pad there. And so we are going to lose red bar for some time, which is going to lose us a little bit of time in between each of these battles. But to get red bar for this whole next section would be a waste of time because of the fact that each Ghastly at best would do 24 damage with Nightshade at best, and that's about it. That's all they could really do, other than just be annoying with Confuse Ray or Hypnosis or something else. And so for all of the rest of Pokemon Tower, we do just keep red bar. We keep no red bar, because we also center afterwards in order to get our PowerPoint management and have our restore point be Celadon City, which is going to be very important throughout the entire run. Also, I'm going to be honest, I never knew what fell out from that lady when she said something fell out. She never made any kind of sense with that. Although a lot of the channelers in this area never made any kind of sense. So here, because we picked up a Pokédoll, we used the Pokédoll glitch, which, because the Marowak is counted as a wild Pokemon, this was, quote-unquote, intended, and we are able to run away immediately and skip all of the Rocket Hideout in Celadon City and just go straight up to the Jesse and James fight here. Or the, quote, Rocket fight.
Not the ads.
I actually subscribed to PSR Marathon because of the fact that I was tired of seeing the ads every time I joined the stream.
Let's go.
And then every hour was 5 ads.
Drop that Twitch Prime sub.
Yeah, hint, drop your Twitch Prime if you're tired of the ads. Not on me. Please don't. It's fine. Support PSR Marathon more. Also, we officially received the Poke Flute.
Flute time. Also, Ranger, I'm disappointed that you're using the basic Gambat palette and not the Lib Retro palette.
I don't know how to change that.
I'll teach you later.
You're gonna have to teach me a lot of things since you're.
It's more accurate to the Game Boy Color's like color scheme, and it looks way better than the Gambat one.
Okay.
I've been trying to convince the BizHawk devs to change it as a default, but alas.
Also, here we go and bike all the way over to Snorlax. We get to listen to Cat Jam. To be honest, Mockwing, I didn't really close the stream at all this past weekend. I only closed it when I slept. And we just immediately run from Snorlax. And here we go and pick up the rare candy here, which is going to be very important very soon. And then we also, wait for it, pick up the PP up as well.
Gotta have that. Gotta get those extra couple uses of all those moves.
Originally, we actually used the PowerPoint up on Hyper Beam because we needed one more in one specific section, and I didn't want to go and pick up another PP item for it, so I intended just to get that. Also here, because cutting trees in yellow is very slow, we go all the way around and it is much faster than cutting any of the trees. I tried every single path. I really did. I tried cutting like 7 trees, 1 tree, 3 trees. Tried everything. In the end, going around was the fastest way. That's of course only for yellow. Red and blue is different. And yes, Jordan, I did close it when I slept because I didn't want the screen flashing while I was trying to sleep. Here we... Actually, I don't even know what I did there. I think I used a PP up and went on the bike. Here we manipulate all of the encounters not to ever happen. Because why would we want encounters? Encounters are just for wasting time. Although something probably would be better than a Butterfree. Butterfree is pretty weak. Turn the screen off, you're right. And in here, all we do is pick up the gold teeth, and we get Surf as well. And here we dig out immediately, and we go to a Celadon, which allows us to go and face Erica first. Alright, and Erica, as expected by anyone, because we have Psychic, this fight is really easy. The only thing to note is that on the execute that we just fought, we used Takedown, which did bring us down a little bit in HP. This is very specific for the upcoming Koga's Gym, which you'll see a lot of really cool, interesting stuff happen. We have Bind Miss. Also, the Tangela is only a 2-shot by getting 2 crits, which does suck, but it's okay. The Weeping Bell and Gloom are 1-shots though. And that is Erica defeated. And here we fly to Fuchsia because we went to the Safari Zone, and we have the fly point, which is faster than obviously biking there. And we bike straight over to the gym, which, funny enough, biking there with the TAS is much faster than walking it in a regular mode, or in the regular RTA run. Now, if you remember me saying foreshadowing about bulky psychic types, welcome to Koga's gym. For some reason, everything but Koga has psychic types. And it's Drowsies, and then one Kadabra. And
we rushed Koga's gym and TAS's because we want to get through the mansion as soon as possible.
Yes.
Where we don't have to worry about the fact that Repel wouldn't work because our level is so low. With your first Pokemon in your party, their level mattering for, like, it has to be higher than something to repel it. So that matters a lot in the routing of Gen 1 for when you do the mansion. But it doesn't matter at all in the TAS because you're just not using repels, you're just manipulating away all the encounters.
Yep. And so here we're at 22 HP. We still need a little bit more HP off. However, Drowsy actually has a little bit too much HP, so we have to use Swift first and then Takedown in order to get to 7 HP for Red Bart. I can tell you with all honesty that fight alone took an excessive amount of time. It took more time than figuring out what Erica was and what Koga's fight were. The next trainer, however, is even more stupid in general. I don't like this guy. This guy is my least favorite trainer. A little bit less than the Lightyear guy, because Lightyear guy is a nightmare. But this is probably my second least favorite trainer. My third least favorite trainer is coming up, though, very soon, which will be really fun to talk about. Also here, we're having Poison Gas miss because it's so easy to make that miss, but it failed. Text is very quick. And here comes the Hypno. So we actually have Takedown so that we can actually deal some damage in order to get, I believe, it's a 4-turn fight instead of just a 5 or 6 turn. No, sorry, three Swifts. This fight normally would be 5 or 6 turns at minimum if we were still at low HP. The best part is, Koga is the easiest piece of cake in the entire world. I could fall asleep in here. Considering that he talks about sleep techniques, I think the sleep techniques are the fact that I could fall asleep while doing the TAS version of this fight. Even in the regular version, I could easily very well do this fight without any issues. Although you do need crits on the Venonets to make them one-shot, which is very annoying. Also because they're level 46, which is a huge upgrade to his team from the red and blue fight, which I believe in those he's level 40 and 42, if I'm not mistaken. Also here, we level up to level 34 and we learn Psybeam. And Psybeam is incredibly good. And I didn't realize that in my very first version of this run, that how good Psybeam was in general. Because Psybeam allows us to save a lot of power points over the entire run, when in points I previously thought, okay, we just use Psychic and we don't use anything else. Well, it's actually really helpful. And that's Koga, by the way. He's very quick. Also, because we have a full inventory, we're going to be having a full inventory for every gym leader from now on. And that is because we save quite a few text boxes if we have the gym leader say, make space for this, you don't have space for this, blah, 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 blah. The only trainer that I didn't do that for was Erica because we had to use the PP up beforehand. Although, in theory, I could save some time by not using the PowerPoint up there in order to prevent Erica from giving it to us. Also, we use an elixir there. We teach Surf to Squirtle because we just got it. We teach Strength. We teach Surf first, or Surf in the second slot, and Strength in the first slot because Strength will appear first on the move list when you are selecting Squirtle to pick an HM move. In later games, it's whatever I believe is first learns, if I'm not mistaken, or the order of the moves in general, and you can change that around, but in this game, you cannot change the order of the moves themselves, I don't believe. Also here, we go to Pallet Town. And this little lass over here, she's really annoying. She didn't cooperate with me for quite a while when I was working on this. And here we surf. And we hold down for quite some time. We do nothing else. Oh, sorry, we hit left click just for a second there. And we go down for a while. Listen to some nice surfing music. And then we get the mansion music, which is Cat Jam Central.
I freaking love like this whole sequence of the water music and then into the mansion music.
Yeah, I agree. Swag switch.
Oh yeah.
I don't care how much time it loses, I will always do swag PCs and swag switches.
It's only 2 frames. It's a speed entertainment trade-off.
Exactly.
As we say in the business.
Besides, it's playground. It's fine. Funny enough, actually, some of these swag switches are actually helpful to get rid of the turn frame afterwards, because afterwards we go right anyway, so it does save us, I believe, 1 frame if anything on some of these switch situations. Also, we pick up this rare candy and the other rare candy, all of which we now have 5 rare candies in total. This will become very important in just a little bit. We have 1 more fight to do before the 3rd least favorite trainer in this run. Now, time to talk about why bulky fire-type Pokemon are some of the stupidest Pokemon in this game. Arcanine is just bulky and annoying and very hard to oh, actually, sorry, these questions are actually really funny because Caterpie does not by technicality evolve into Butterfree. It evolves into Metapod, then Butterfree. But of course, wording wise, it does eventually evolve into Butterfree. So I just wanted to comment on that with the quiz, because it is wrong. And of course, this is true later on. No, sorry, it does because it could either evolve into Politoed or Poliwrath for a Poliwag, but also no, because it only evolves into one of the 2. And of course, Tombstoner, the best question ever. I wish they did make a move that was called Tombstoner.
Didn't they change it to Tombstoney in the Let's Go remake?
I think so.
That was a fun one.
Also, so Blaine requires 4 X specials and 1 X speed. Yes, you heard me. 4 X specials and 1 X speed for Butterfree to get through this fight somewhat well. Also, Gen 1 Miss Flamethrower. And to tail would fail. I found the Flamethrower Gen 1 Miss within like 4 frames of...
Little fun little addition.
Yeah. I wasn't not going to include any Gen 1 misses. I should have kept a counter up on how many I have. I never even counted.
That's a great question.
I think I have 20 in the whole run. Yeah, probably close to 20, if not 25. Because there's 9 in Light Year Guide to fight.
And
There's...
faster than that Rapidash, it looks like.
Yes, because of the X speed. But then
Oh,
we
you
lose
lose
our
badge boost from the Arcanine. Interesting.
Also, we can only kill this Arcanine with a special drop at +4. So...
The value.
It was a crit special drop into a special drop to a range, I think. I don't remember the exact range, but... And of course, no room. We use dig. Now let's talk about good AI. Also, we're going to level up a few times here, up to level 40. We save 1 rare candy for inventory purposes. So, good AI in this game is any move that is super effective against you, the trainer, will be used no matter what. Whether that is a Nidoking against a Pidgeotto, and the Pidgeotto uses agility, or Pidgeot, whatever. Whether it's a fire type against a water type, and the water type will always use Water Gun or Bubble Beam. Or in this case, a Butterfree against a Sand Slash. The Sand Slash has 4 moves, I believe. Slash, Sand Attack, Dig, and Poison Sting. Dig and Sand Attack. Sand Attack will hit, but it's a ground move, and ground is not effective against flying, so I won't use it. Dig, same situation. And Slash is neutral against both. But Poison is super effective against Bug in this generation. After this generation, that is not the case anymore. It's just neutral. So, and the only move Sand Slash has is Poison Sting to hit us. But Poison Sting is 100% accurate in this game. Except the Gen 1 miss. So while setting up for the upcoming fight, you have to have the Sand Slash Gen 1 miss quite a few times. And you think to yourself, okay, well, what about setting up on something else? Well, you still need at least 1 or 2 Gen 1 misses against Sand Slash in order to make it actually, to like kill it, because it doesn't die at one shot, because Sand Slash is a stupid Pokemon. And Butterfree is relatively weak compared to it. So you think to yourself, okay, well, I can set up against something else. No, because every Pokemon, including, everything but the Kadabra, has a super effective move against Butterfree. We're going to see that presented right here, right now. Welcome to, other than the Lightyear guy, the other Gen 1 miss shenanigans fight, as I call it. So we act special once. Poison Sting to hit to get to low HP. We act special twice. Find a Poison Sting a second and a half later. Yes, 90 frames roughly. Another Gen 1 miss. So 3X specials. Kill it, get the range because of the badge boosts, or no badge boosts. Then Psychic to kill the Magneton. Ninetales. Use Psybeam to get a crit. Ember Gen 1 miss into Psybeam crit again for the 2-shot because we need to save power points on Psychic. We lose our badge boosts. We use Swift on the Kadabra for a 1-shot with a crit, which is amazing. So we don't have to use Takedown. And then we use Psychic, I believe, twice here. Yeah, special drop into Aurora Beam Gen 1 miss. So I believe that was 5 or 6 Gen 1 misses in that whole fight. This is the nicest version of the fight I have ever seen in my life. In the original, I believe we had 6 or 7 Gen 1 misses in this fight alone. And that was with using Hyper Beam in the original version. So yeah. And of course we face against the Rockets, who are a joke compared to what we just had to do. And sorry about the little lag there. I was opening up a browser. And let's see. Also, as of this point, if we go to the Sylph Giovanni fight, when we finish up Giovanni himself, who's really, really simple, we are going to be, compared to our verified version of this run, 29,320 frames ahead, which I believe is roughly 7.5 minutes faster than the original, if my math is correct. I don't remember fully, but when we exited the fly house originally, because of the fact that we had to do the game corner, we were 33,869 frames ahead. So we did lose quite a bit of time because we aren't using Hyper Beam, which does save a significant amount of turns because of its base power and the inability to recharge. But we are still consistently ahead by a long shot compared to our original TAS. And yeah, I'm not even going to really talk about Giovanni fight because it's one of the most simple fights to ever exist. Although this Nidoqueen is quite bulky and very tanky, and so it does require a critical hit from Psychic to be able to one-shot it properly. And so after this, we only have actually 2 more gyms left. And then we have the Viridian rival fight, and then the Elite Four, which is going to be really awesome. So Hyper Beam with the game corner, because you have to manipulate the game corner into giving you 300 coins every time, it still takes 9 to 10 minutes alone just to get Hyper Beam. And this is the version without Hyper Beam, and we're 7.5 minutes faster, even with our time losses in general. With Koga, we lost 1,600 frames just in that section of the run. Even with that, we are still significantly faster in many ways. So yes, while Hyper Beam is a wonderful, wonderful meme, it is very slow and very just not effective.
If there was a faster way... speed, Hyper Beam is not there. If you're looking for the most amazing 9 minutes of manipulating the game corner of your life, Hyper Beam's awesome.
Yes, and listening to the coin sound in your right ear for hours and hours because you're manipulating the coins. Which, by the way, up until I did that game corner run, the manipulating of the game corner, only one other person really had looked into it, and it was about 5 or 6 years ago. Also, if you notice that we centered after beating Blaine, it was because we needed full HP to use takedown on all 3 of Sabrina's Pokemon. And the reason why was because they are Psychic types. They're not weak to Psychic. And so using takedown would be significantly faster in general. And yeah, Hyper Beam is very slow in general. If there was any kind of faster way to actually do it, I would be glad to get it any day of the week. Oh, also, forgot to mention, we actually have the Alakazam use Psywave on us and manipulate the amount of damage it does with it in order to get to 2 HP after the end of the fight, while saving many turns instead of having to use Swift or something else. Or because Hyper Beam would be the fastest way, but with takedown, you're not going to get red bar from just takedowning all 3 Pokemon. So you need a little bit more damage from the Alakazam, which can be easily manipulated by Psywave because it does 1 to 1.5 times the user's level. And since Alakazam, I believe, is level 54, that would be 79 points of damage. So 1 to 79 damage, and you can easily find that eventually in the run. Also, while I was doing this section of the run, which I only did about a week ago, I thought that going on the spinny tiles was going to be faster, but then I remembered that going backwards on through the area was going to be very, very slow. Going through it the first time is really quick. Afterwards, though, it's much slower, which Kevin did confirm that he also had the same idea as me and had the same rise in excitement and disappointment at the same time. And here we have the Black Belt trainer, who is normally notorious for also killing runs in both yellow and red runs. But here, because we are a Pokemon with a Psychic move, we destroy everything in the world. And yeah, we level up here also level 44, which is very important for the upcoming section in general. The Machops are a joke. The Machop is a joke, and the Machokes are a joke as well. They just need a crit Psybeam. That's it. And we're trying to save power points on Psychic because we need it for Giovanni coming up. Which, honestly, this fight is... I want to look into it a little bit more. But that's just me. So here we exit, we re-enter, and every single trainer is reset back to their original position, which is faster than going on those spinny tiles in the background. The spinny tiles are extremely and excessively slow in this game compared to Fire Red Leaf Green or even Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, because those make the games actually a little bit faster to run. And after Giovanni, we actually only have 6 trainers left to fight before the end of this run, which is incredible to think about. Also, we have a Fissure Miss, which I love doing. Sand Attack failed. Sand Attack failed, which that one took a long time to find. Fissure unaffected. Because we are now faster than it, it will say unaffected instead of attack missed. And this Persian, without the X items and the badge boosts, is not even a range with Psychic. So, which is why that level up at level 44 there was really important, because just after the Persian, we can one-shot everything else after we get to level 45 and lose our badge boosts. And just so everybody knows for the future, I will be working on 2 other versions of this TAS. The first one will be a version utilizing, instead of Swift, Mega Drain, which we normally pick up in Erica's gym. This is to manipulate our HP much, much more using both Mega Drain and Takedown, and going up and down in our HP, but allows us to continuously use Takedown on some of the Psychic types, as well as use Mega Drain on some of the bulky Pokemon that could pose a problem. For example, Lorelai's Slowbro in the Elite Four is really tough without Mega Drain. A certain X item count, I believe you can easily two-shot it with Mega Drain, but you would need to have Mega Drain, and Mega Drain also restores HP, which is quite slow in general. And yes, also good idea. Yeah, he doesn't have anything in general to hit us with, so therefore it just uses a random move. Also, once again, we have Gen 1 misses. Because why not, right? More Gen 1 misses. 2 of them.
And we never see Poison Sting from that Sand Slash there because of Nidoking being Poison type. So usually we wouldn't see that, but here Butterfree does not have the Poison type, so...
And because... No, Butterfree is Bug Flying, but it's weak to Poison. And also Execute will use Poison Powder here only because it is a Poison move, I believe, or it's a Grass type, but... So, what's it called? We only go to +3 on the Sand Slash because we are able to kill it at that range and we didn't want to deal with Gen 1 misses from it. And so we switched to the Execute, who only has Poison Sting or Poison Powder to hit us with, and it is very easy to manipulate into missing instead of wasting 30-40 frames just to find a Gen 1 miss. So here we continue to go and go and go. Fun fact, the Swift here once again is a crit with the badge. Sorry, it's a 2-shot actually. I forgot that was a 2-shot. Here we level up, we lose our badge boosts, we get the Vaporeon, and I believe once again we do a Psychic Mist into a Psychic, which should kill. Yep. It's a very, very low range on that Vaporeon itself. And we are officially 5 trainers left. So the Elite Four itself is it starts off extremely rough into great and okay and rough. That is the order. So Bruno and Agatha are very, very easy. Although Agatha can be an annoyance, more so than anything. And you will see in the Agatha fight 2 turns where I do purposely lose time because I wanted to get this version of the run done before the marathon. And I didn't want to spend 6 hours of my non-existent time that I have looking for 2 Gen 1 misses while setting up on the Gengar against Agatha. So we do, in theory, lose time because of that. And that is okay, because I can find that time later on. So I will talk about that when we get there. For now, let's just enjoy the bicycle theme, or well, the Victory Road theme into the bicycle theme, because we have the Victory Road section. Also, I did not do any swag boulders, unfortunately. I'm sorry, I am not any fun, I know. I wish I could be more fun, like Kevin, who can just do anything he wants. I have to say, moving these boulders is one of the most irritating things possible when working on the TAS, because finding the frame that you can start moving again is excruciatingly annoying. Just a minor inconvenience in general. Also, you will see little delays here and there. That's because we are manipulating A-presses on various tiles in order to avoid encounters in general. Squirtle is very strong indeed. I agree. Yeah, left ear is having a fun time right now with these boulders. And we are almost out of Victory Road. If you remember from before, we were about 29,320 frames. When we exit Victory Road, we are going to be 27,375 frames ahead of our previous one, which does put us a little bit farther behind, but that's because Sabrina was a lot slower because we centered and we didn't use Hyper Beam. And also, exiting Victory Road, we did do a menu, which we normally would do in the Elite Four, but that is okay. And here we are, Swag PC again, because why not?
Always love it.
We also deposit all of our Pokemon, because we don't need them. We don't need Pokemon, we just need a Butterfree. This will be a solo challenge on YouTube. Can you beat Pokemon Yellow with just a Butterfree? Well, a robot can.
And perfect inputs.
And perfect inputs. I should actually name that the title of the video. Can you beat Pokemon Yellow with just a Butterfree and perfect inputs? I actually really like that title. All right, welcome to one of the most irritating fights of all time, Dugong. So we just manipulate to have rest. It's really easy. Also a Gen 1 miss Aurora Beam because I found it very early on. Takedown miss too, because I could. And into Psychic, which I believe is a one-shot. Yes, they are. Oh, Aurora Beam, sorry. That was a take. I didn't see what that was. Don't know if that was Takedown Aurora Beam. Cloister is very easy because special-wise, it's not that good.
Not
We also
nearly as good
level
as
up, lose the
Dugong.
badges. No, because we can, for some reason, also we get a special drop on that. Gen 1 miss Psychic from Slowbro into a Slowbro kill with Psychic. So funny enough, I did find a few frames where it will use Rest more often than using Aurora Beam. Also another Gen 1 miss Ice Punch. And another Gen 1 miss with Ice Punch. Yeah, this whole fight is just Gen 1 miss and Prey. Also, Blizzard is not 100% accurate. No, I cannot. Unfortunately, I will not do that for you. No matter how much money you throw at me. I would never do that. We get through Lorelei very, very quickly.
I'll do a Jinx impression if you want.
I'm ready.
You're cutting it a tiny bit there, but
Yeah, you were cutting it out there too. It sounded great. So here's Bruno. It's not hard. Other than the Machamp, everything else dies to Psybeam because this Elite Four trainer is so hard for a Pokemon with a Psychic move. But we are almost done.
For Jinx Cry fans, I have a video on my YouTube where I've superimposed several of Kizaron's Jinx Cries on top of each other.
Oh boy, I haven't seen that. I gotta find that.
It used to be
And-
every Kizaron Jinx Cry, but there have been several since then.
Okay, so here comes the part where I do lose some time, and yes, I know I will find the time later. Don't worry, Kevin. So here we Elixir. That's actually needed no matter what because we use so many Psychics. And we actually... So the reason why I just ignored it was because Gengar has 5 options it can do. It can use Substitute. It can switch out. It can use Lick, Confuse Ray, or Mega Drain. Confuse Ray, Lick, and Mega Drain all have 100% accuracy. And so you have to Gen 1 miss it. It's TI Kevin 83.
Yes, that is my handle. TI Kevin 83.
And also, we had the Gengar confuse us because I didn't want to look for the Gen 1 miss for that. And so I just went with it, and I immediately was unconfused the next turn. So it was very easy to manipulate. So that is a section where you could easily get a Mega Drain Gen 1 miss into Mega Drain Gen 1 miss and save a lot of time. But because of the fact that I only had 2 weeks to finish this version of the TAS, I did speed it up a little bit. So I do lose some amount of time, but funny enough, compared to the original version, I saved 92 frames on this version, which is kind of funny. And Agatha's done. That's the only section where I know I can save a lot more time because I can find a better version of the fight with more misses in general. I definitely want to do a count of how many Gen 1 misses I find in the world. The funny thing is, while I look for Gen 1 misses, sometimes I find my own Gen 1 misses before I find any others. And I think I found a total of 3 or 4 of my own Gen 1 misses while doing this version of it. So here's Lance, and previously Lance could be a pain, but I found a way while doing this version that was just significantly faster. So here we just have it fail Leer, miss Hydro Pump, mainly miss Leer because it's a lot faster, miss Hyper Beam because it's not 100% accurate.
That's so nice that it's not locked into hyper or hydro pumping you.
Even then we could just miss it, but yeah, exactly. Yeah. More like 400 D4s, or 256 of them. And hope for the one spot that doesn't have a D4 on it. Or hope for that spot. So the Aerodactyl normally is actually a 2-shot, but because of the badge boost that we have, we're actually able to kill it in 1 shot. And we level up immediately after, which was a saving grace of this run. The Dragonite is a 2-shot in which we have it miss Fire Blast, because Fire Blast would look really funny to see, be like, oh my god, that's a Fire Blast. But it misses. So we're safe. Oh, thank you, Hollian. I totally knew that. So now we have the champion fight. In all seriousness, there is a tiny bit of epilepsy warning because Psychic is a little bit flashy. So if you are in any way epileptic or any kind of sensitive to just like flashing screens, please, I would look away and just listen.
Yeah, the animations get forced turned back on for the final fight.
Yes, everything RNG is, if you even delay everything by 1 frame 3,000 frames earlier, it changes the entire delay of everything.
Yeah, Carissa, to be precise about what you're asking, the RNG is determined on a cycle-based counter, which is very, very precise. So basically anything that you change, not just necessarily delaying frames, will cause different RNG. Unlike later gens, for instance in Gen 3, where the RNG is advancing to a specific number that's predetermined by essentially you could call it like a rainbow table. You know what numbers it can spit out in a sequence. That's not necessarily the same way with Gen 1. Like you can change your inputs at previous times to force basically any RNG to happen.
So you're noticing in this that we're having Sandslash hit moves and miss moves at the exact same time. Or like at different turns. This is because the badge boost that you get from each of the different X items increases and decreases, it decreases the damage slowly that Poison Sting does to you. We manipulate Sandslash into hitting us down all the way to 80 HP with just Poison Sting for the sake of the upcoming Pokemon, Alakazam. We used Psybeam so that we can, and then Kinesis fails into Takedown for the sake of the next Pokemon. We get to 56 HP. Sorry, we go to 59. And then after this, we use Takedown because we are at +4 attack, or +3. We go down to 35 HP. And then we have Stomp Miss into a Takedown kill into 11 HP, which gives us red bar for the rest of the fight. If we didn't use Takedown, this fight would be at least 4 to 5 more turns because either using Swift, Psychic, or Psybeam. Fire Spin Miss. And Magneton, I believe, is a... it is 31, I believe. Also, special drop into Gen 1 Miss Thunderbolt, which was really fun to find.
Yeah, you have to generally be under about 20.7% of your total HP. It's a little bit higher than 20%.
Yep. Also, Psychic, Special Drop. No, sorry, no Special Drop. Missed. I believe it's a 3-shot or a 2-shot. I'm not sure which one in this. I think I just kind of finished and went with the day. Yep. Missed fails because it already used it. And that is the run. I will let you know, Iron, when to say time. It's not time yet, but...
Oh, I'm not in control of the timer. I'm not sure how to do that.
Oh. Who's
That
in
would
charge
be
of the timer?
Andy.
Time is on
Andy, hi.
last input because TAS. So
Yep. So
exactly,
I've
Black
known what the
Obelisk.
final
Yeah, it's a
time is.
48 pixel HP bar, so it's 10 pixels or less is red bar.
So I've known what the final time is this whole time. I just haven't said it because I like to keep surprises. This was ahead of my current task by, if anyone wants to do the math. The final time is going to be a 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 36 seconds. The original time was a 1 hour, 56 minute, and 22 second time. If anyone wants to do the math for that, feel free to calculate the difference. I don't remember. And Jay, the Butterfree. And
146 in-game time!
Time. Yep, time. But yeah, that is the TAS. I'm really, really happy considering that I've only worked on TAS stuff for about a year and 4 months total time. If you don't count 2 of those months of rage quitting from the Lightyear trainer fight the first time I did it, then a year and just 2 months. And when I say that I rage quit for 2 months, I genuinely rage quit for 2 months. But yeah, this was a lot of fun in general. And the timer's still going, but that's okay. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, do you need to get the computer to do that? Or...
I mean, I can do it really quickly.
Yeah, because you've done tech access.
Thank
I'm
you
gonna run my own
for
program.
inviting me on for the commentary, Ranger Squid. I'm excited to do it.
Thank you so much for providing so much. I really like the insight that you provided, so I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, thank you both
But,
for showing off a really impressive of TAS, a very unconventional alt main, but it's really, really cool what kinds of stuff you can do with the TAS.
Yeah.
Software
And
capabilities, absolutely.
if you would like to follow me for any future TAS work I may stream or any other speedruns I do, Ranger Squid on Twitch. I also want to thank the custom starter group that we have in our group chat, Mr. 2, Switch, Snorms, Casual Poke Player, Headbob, Poi, everybody, for just literally mentally supporting me while I work on this and while I scream in agony at Gen 1 misses. And so I want to thank them. I want to thank Kevin because Kevin saved me during this whole run and everything. And he's awesome.
Thanks.
And yes, Headbob, I know you're just kind of there, but you do enjoy the chats at least.